Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi and today we are going to discuss about one more array manipulation function, and that function is known as flatten. Flatten. Okay, just let me write that once here and just let me choose a color. Let's say I have chosen this. So that the name of that function is flatten. Fine. So this is the function which we are going to use, and the name for that function is flatten. So basically, what does this flatten function do? Let's quickly see that what does this do. So basically, let me write. It will return a copy of an array which will be let's say converted, okay, which will be converted into 1D array. Now what I just mean to say from here is that flatten function, what does it do? It basically returns a copy of an array which will be converted into 1D array. Let's say you are writing a program, and in that program you have taken a two-dimension array, 2D array. Now if you will use this flatten function, so this flatten function, what it will do, it will convert your 2D array into 1D array, right? So that is the same thing which I have written. Will return a copy of an array which will be converted into 1D array. What it will do, it will just return a copy of an array which will be converted into 1D array. Fine. So let's say you have a program in that you have taken 3D array. Now if you basically use this flatten function, what it will do, it will convert your 3D array into 1D array. Fine. So this is the case here. Now what's the next thing which I just want to tell you here? I want to tell you about four orders, right? Basically in the previous video also we have discussed about the orders, but there we have seen about only two of the orders. Now just let me define all the four orders here: C, F, A and K. Now these are the four orders. Just let's have a quick overview that what are these four orders and what basically they mean. So this C1 is the row wise, like, yes, because we have just discussed this thing in the previous video only, and we have even seen the examples for doing that, right? So this C was the row wise. Now what about F? F is the column wise. Okay, so F is the basically column wise one. Now what about this A? Now this A is a fortran, right? This A is a fortran. Now just not move too much into this A1. So just for the time, it just remember that it is a fortran wise. Okay. And now what about this K? K is the order in which elements occurs in memory. So basically what I would write, occurs in memory. So basically K is an order in which the elements occur in your memory. So these are the four orders which you can follow while using the flatten function, right? So this C is for row wise, this F is for column wise, this A is for fortran wise, and this K is that this occurs in the memory, the elements occurs in the memory. Fine. So these are the four functions which you can use. Now let's do one thing. Let's move towards the pie chart and let's have some examples for this. Okay, this flatten function. So just let me do one thing. Let me just have a zoom inside. Fine. Now first thing that I would be doing is I would be importing my numpy. So I would write import numpy as np. So basically numpy is my library and this np is the short form for writing that library, right? Now what I would do, I would quickly write help, and in help I would write np dot and flatten. So basically this flatten is my function for today on which we are discussing, right? So I have just written help np.flatten. Now I just want to check the syntax and the other things. Okay, I have some errors, so let's see what's the error. Okay, module numpy has no attribute flatten. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's remove it once and let's try to write the program for it. Fine. Okay, let's say I take an array A is equal to np dot, and okay, I need to write short, A is equal to np dot array. Fine. In this area, what I am going to do, I'm just going to mention some, let's say 2D array, fine. Let's say I would write 1 comma 2, fine. Okay, and let's say I would write 3 comma 4. Okay, let's say I have just taken this array, and if I just want to print it, I would write print and I would write a. So after doing this, I would just quickly go and run this. So I would just get a two-dimensional array this side, right? I have just got a 2D array. Now what is my next job? My next job is to use this flatten function, right? So what I would do, I would write print a dot flatten. Okay, and I would put this bracket because this is one of my functions. So as soon as I did this, now just see, let's have a look what did here happen. Here it is written 1, 2, 3, 4. Previously I have taken a 2D array and my 2D array was of 2 cross 2, means 2 rows and 2 columns. But as soon as I use my flatten function, so what happened? So basically my 2D array is automatically converted into 1D array, right? So this was the definition only which I was just telling about the flatten function, that it will return a copy of an array collapse, or you can say just you can say converted in 1D array, fine. So this is the thing which our flatten function does. And just let me have a one more look this side, because like basically there are some functions for that help one is not present. So just let me run and just check that for this is this like okay, fine. Okay, fine. So basically what is the case? This help function is not valid for this flatten function, right? As I told that there are many functions, so for not for every of the function, this help function works, right? So this is the case. Now, as I told you that what would we do? We basically take an array. In that we just initialize a array, we print. If you want to print, then other like no issues. And after that print, we use a dot flatten. So a is my array name. I would use dot pattern. One more thing is that I would write print, and now let's say I would write a dot flatten. Okay, I would write a dot flatten, and other than that, here I would just put a comma. I would write order, and I would, let's say I would write the order is f. Okay, fine. So as I told that there is one, like you can say you can use order also, right? As I told, so print a dot flatten, and in bracket I had put order, and let's say my order is f. Now let's go towards our one note and have a look about this thing. So what was a? A was my column wise. Now so here only just let me tell you the syntax also. So like we have already seen in our program, as this, like let me just tell you, you need to write your array name dot, and here you need to use this flatten, fine. And if you want, you can use the order inside, fine. So this is the basic syntax for using that flatten function. So we write array name dot flatten, and in bracket basically we put the order. So basically this is how you use your flatten function. Now let's okay, so we were just seeing that f1. So f is our column wise, right? Now let's move towards this pie chart and let's see. Now when I am going to run this thing, see, what output did I get? I get 3, 1, 3, 2, 4. Earlier what I was getting 1, 2, 3, 4. But now what did I get? I get 1, 3, 2 and 4. Because I have just mentioned this order is equal to F. So it has like taken this as column wise. And before, the default order is C. As I have already told, the default order is C. So basically it was taking it row wise. So for row wise, it is something 1, 2, 3, 4. But for the column, it is 1, 3, 2, 4, right? As you can just have a look over this thing here only. Fine. So this is about the flatten function. Now, if I just want to use this function for my 2D, for my 3D array, let's say I have taken B, I would write B is equal to np dot, and I would write array. Okay. And inside this, I would just declare a 3-dimension array. Let's say I would write 1, 2, 3. And here I would write 4, 5, 6, and let's say here I would write okay, let me put that back in 7, 8, 9. So like this is how okay, fine. Like this is how we basically you can say initialize our 3D array, right? Because like we have discussed this thing earlier also. So here in the bracket, I have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So just let's do one thing. Let's comment this thing above 1. Comment it. Now, what I would do, I would write print. Okay. I would just print my array once. Fine. So I would write print and then B. So just let me run this once and see. I just got my 3D array here. Sorry, like this is not a 3D array, but like you can say 3-dimension array. Fine. Here what's the case? The case is 3 cross 3. Fine. So I got a 3 cross 3, you can say. Not a 3D. This is a 3 cross 3 array, you can say. Fine. Now if I just want to flatten this, what I would write? I would write print. I would take a dot, and here I would use flatten. Fine. And this bracket. Sorry, B. Now when I would run this, so it will be converted into a 1D array. Fine. So here this is automatically converted into a one-dimensional array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. So I hope I just made this thing clear to you. And after that, if I just want to print that order also, so what I would do print b dot flatten, and then in the bracket I would put order is equal to, and here let's say I would put f because c is the default one, so I would put f here. And now let's run this once. Okay, now have a look that I got this thing as difference because I have taken the order here as column, right? Because I have just written f, so that f means that you need to take the order in a column wise. So it is just showing me 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. So it is basically giving me this order that is for the columns one. Right, so I hope I just made this flatten function very clear to you that what it does, it basically converts your 2D array, 3D or 2D array into 1D array. So basically what it does, it collapses your given array into a 1D array. And the only parameter that we can pass inside this flatten function is order, right? So this is how you use flatten function in this numpy array to convert your 2D and 3D arrays into 1D array, right? So I hope you just got all the concepts very clear, and if you have any doubts, you can rewatch the videos or ask your doubts in the comment box. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and bye bye.